Hi, my name is Becky Minto and I am the set and costume designer for James V Catherine. So the main responsibilities of a set and costume designer is, well, I guess as it says really, I'm responsible for the overall visual look of the show to make sure that there's the right space for all of the directing, any furniture that needs to happen, what the surrounding is. Certainly with this production as well, there's been interaction with the lighting designer as well. So how we create the overall vision, and then meeting the actors, getting a flavour of who the characters are, and coming up with a vision that both Rona as the writer and Orla as the director, and in a sense a little bit with the actors about what feels right for them to be costumed in. My role is quite an expansive role, and it starts in a very early stage of the development of the show. So you get asked to do the job, I get the script, and from there you meet with the director, you do loads of research into, so for example at the moment, the period of James V historically, and have through discussions with Orla O'Loughlin, who is the director, come up with a sense of what the overall look of the piece would be. And then from then you make a small model, so like a model that's 25 times smaller than the actual stage in card, to try and work out sort of blocking and whether it fits into different buildings, things like that. And once that's all done and been signed off, you do that in a colour version, so that a scenic artist who would be the painter of the set, if anything needed painting, can do what they need to do. And then when that's all done and the costumes are all given a chance to sort of land, my role is to then sit into rehearsals, make sure anything's needed from a costume point of view or a furniture or props point of view. And you just follow the whole process then through until Tech Week, which is when we move into the venue and lights and sound, acting, costume all comes together. And then on opening night, that's when my job finishes. A typical day in the life of a designer can be very different. Today, for example, I've been working in a museum where we are installing a giant wooden Trojan horse that is going into the museum where the Stone of Destiny is coming back to in Perth in Scotland. For the rest of the day, I'm in rehearsals, sitting in, watching and seeing what's happening on the floor. We've also got a production meeting, which means that every department from sound, lighting, set, acting, marketing come together and discuss where we're at with the show and what's happening. And so that's it really. Every day can be very different. I guess that's what keeps it exciting. Creative challenges, I suppose specifically for James V Catherine, is the fact that although we're opening in this beautiful venue in the Festival Theatre Studio, it's also going to lots of other venues that are all different sizes and different shapes, at small stages and large stages. So I think one of the challenges specifically here is to make sure that whatever we create can fit into every space, that you are there to tell the story. That's the most important thing, I guess, about the challenge of doing the job that we do, is that set design and the costume design needs to be there to support the narrative of the show, and that's not sort of take its place, to allow the words to be free. So I guess that's one of the challenges, is to not only to fit in all the different spaces that we're going to, but to make sure that the audience gets clarity in the narrative of what you're saying. The pathway I took to becoming a set and costume designer, as a teenager when I was growing up, saw many bands in Liverpool, and I was always fascinated by not necessarily what they were singing but what was on stage as well. So I trained as an interior designer in Liverpool, and then I found out about a drama school in Cardiff, which was the Royal Welsh College of Music and Drama, and I went and studied theatre design, and I worked as a scenic artist, so painting the scenery, and then led myself into doing theatre design. It was a kind of long journey. I've still never designed a set for a rock band, but one of these days I'm sure I'll get the opportunity. My advice for anybody who's wanting to get into this world of theatre set and costume design would be to try and go and see as many shows as you like before you make that decision. There's so many different areas of theatre that you can go into, whether it's children's theatre, whether it's aerial work, circus, or straight theatre like this. But try and go and see as much as possible. Perhaps join a drama club. Working backstage with youth theatre or amateur athletics is always a really great thing to do. Just to get a flavour of that, go and ask and see if you can get some work placements as well. It's always open to sort of get in touch with designers and just ask if they can come and shadow you as well. Never be afraid to ask, I think, is the question I would say.